full feature tonight. So I made some meatballs last night. I got leftovers, so of course I'm gonna make a meatball sub. I'm gonna make a salad to go with it, and also I have a baby shower that I get to go to tomorrow, which means I got an equal audience that has at least some women in it. So I'm gonna try my hand at making a couple new dessert recipes, and we're gonna see how it turns out tonight. But they involve chocolate and sugar, and I think pregnant women like those type of things. So let's get started. I'm gonna be chopping carrot, so I want my knife running at full strength. It's almost time to sharpen the knife. I'm just gonna hone it up, and that'll get me through a couple more days. Nice even pressure, get the whole blade. That's not really sharpening it, but it's just putting it back in line. I think the technical term is honing. All right. So I got these carrots here, and they're definitely coming close to the end of their useful life expectancy. Got a speed peeler. I mean, you don't have to peel them, but I'm going to peel them real quick. Because it takes me 3 seconds. And I want the carrots to dissolve quickly or break down, and just peeling them will, especially since they're kind of not ideal in the beginning, it'll get like the outside sogginess away from it, and as you can see, the inside's nice and bright orange. Alright. Let's get our pan that we're going to cook the sauce preheating. We're going to cook on low, but I want my pan to be preheated so none sticks. Cut the tops off. And we're just going to cut the carrot in strips. Depending on how wide those strips are, we're going to cut them into little pieces. And obviously, if you want to do this a little bit faster, just use your plain marinara store-bought sauce ready to go. I mean, that's what I'm going to use in the end anyways. But I just think that if you can have the time, what I do, because I'm going to be doing other bullshit like making baby shower snacks, you can take some time to make your sauce a little bit better. Make sure you turn on the right burner. That usually helps the cause. Okay. Just for scale, so you can see the dice here. not sure about that one. But anyways, got a nice fine dice on the carrot. Let's cut about an equal amount of the onion. And you could also use celery in addition, but celery is expensive today, so I didn't buy any. Let's get the peel out of the way. Now, hey, what's going on, Big Lego? I think this is the third day. No, I'm just a fat ass that likes to cook good food. Yeah, I'll defer to your expertise on that one, Funk. But no, I try to cook every night, and as you practice, you get better, Bucky. I don't try to make fancy meals. I just try to make good meals that are affordable and taste good. So really, if you're trying to Michelin star dinner situation or a 10 out of 10, this probably ain't the channel for you. But I'm shooting for a solid 6 to 7 and economical. It's 7:45 here. I ain't going to bed crazy. Yeah, well, you can see what I'm cooking, can't you? What angle would you like me to have? I'm open to feedback. You got your pan preheating back there. Let's warm that up. Who's mad, Rowlsy? I'm curious. And I'm pairing it with a nice Pinot Noir. Because nothing says class like a meatball sandwich, This burner takes a while to preheat, but I'm not too worried about it. Give another, minute or so. I'm going to put some olive oil in there, along with my carrot, onion, a little bit of salt. I would add garlic, fresh garlic if I had it, and whole clove, but I don't, so I'm going to add in some garlic powder at a later time of day. I'm making the meatball sandwich with leftover meatballs from last night that you remember, Big Lego. And a salad, and then I'm going to try to make some desserts. So caramel apples and I guess some peanut butter or chocolate covered peanut butter, what is more or less called a buckeye, depending on where you're from. So we'll see. And a generous amount of olive oil in there. And I'm just going to cook these nice and slow for while I attempt to make this dessert thing. And that way the sugars, the natural sugars, can kind of break down and they'll caramelize nicely. And I'm going to add my pasta sauce into it, garlic, a little bit of red wine, simmer that down. And meanwhile, there'll be time to start cooking the meatballs, make garlic bread on the hoagie, and put some provolone on it, and it'll be good. 7:45 p.m. Just a little bit of salt in there. And just leave that on a fairly low setting. When I start to hear it sizzling, I'll turn down the heat. So, now I gotta look at my recipe and the ingredients that I'm gonna need for this, because I haven't made that before, but it should be pretty easy. At least if that liar on that blog that I read today knows their stuff. If it's any good, I'll let you know. Seasoning for what? Cup of peanut butter, okay. Peanut butter. 1 cup of peanut butter. Soft butter, so we'll throw that over there next to the stove to soften up. Brown sugar, got that ready to go. Salt, got that ready to go. Vanilla, let's see if I got that nearby. Oh man, I know I bought vanilla. Well, shit. Yeah, fish oil, but that's not gonna help me. Alright, looks like no vanilla here for this one. Shit happens. That's okay. See, what else do I need? Chocolate, 1 cup of chocolate. I don't know how much that is. Well, we got Hershey's, that'll work. Yeah, 48 sticks of butter, yeah, that'll work. No, I appreciate that, Glodo. I'm going to go on a limb funk and say you eat 40 pounds of peanut butter. I did get a haircut. I was getting a little shaggy. Thanks for noticing, Gorge. It's good to have you back. Alright. Okay, got everything I need. Let's get our measurements going here. We'll see if this bowl is big enough. I kind of doubt it. But trying to do a million dishes tonight. Well, you know, I don't know when it's not cool to put your kid in the crate anymore. Sorry, the crib. And, you know, what's the difference between crate training your child and putting him in a crib? I don't think there's much of a difference. Huh. You know it, you know it, Miguel. I like to have a little bit of flow. But I'm hoping Miguel is actually some, you know, kind of like in the movie Euro Trip when the guy didn't know that he was talking to a girl. I'm hoping that you're a girl as well, Miguel, but I'm not too confident in that. Yeah, we need a cup of peanut butter. That's got to be a half cup, yeah. Okay, that's almost there. Good night, Big Lego. Thanks for joining back. I prefer to let you all pick your own music, you know? Meatball Sub, a couple of desserts, a salad, caramel apples, buckeyes, you know. Just kind of wild card night. I gotta make snacks for a baby shower, so I don't know what to do. Quarter cup of soft butter. Well, this really isn't soft yet. 8 tablespoons equal a half cup. So I need 4 tablespoons of soft butter. Okay, we got a situation here. I'll figure out how to fix it. My butter's not soft, but we're gonna fix this. I don't have a microwave. Don't judge. Tomorrow now I gotta go to a wedding, so probably won't be back until Monday. Realistically, I might do some lunch or breakfast, but yeah, I'm working on it, Funk. Let's go ahead and melt that butter down. We got peanut butter spoon before Grand Theft Auto 6. I mean, things like, what do you want me to do with that peanut butter spoon? You're going to have to pay me a significant amount of money. Because I don't care about the redwoods, we're using paper plates tonight. Just kidding, I love the environment. Just not the dirty hippies. Alright, let's see. Tablespoon of brown sugar. I can do that. Oh yeah, that's a tablespoon. There it goes. 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Who the hell makes salt in those dimensions? Smallest I got is 1/4. So I'll just put in about half of the salt. Rotate that butter around. Very technical method, you know. Wahoo. Never been to Big Island. Just let that melt. It says soften butter. I don't know if using melted butter will make it too oily or not, but we're going to do about half and half. We'll put that in there. Butter's kind of about half mass. It definitely isn't hard. We are going to put in a tablespoon of brown sugar, 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Recipe calls for a little bit of vanilla. I don't have vanilla. I might regret this later, but I like cinnamon better anyways, so this way I can pretend it's my own, right? And I'm not going to measure, I'm just going to give it 2 small shakes. 1, 2. Oh, that was a big shake. Guess I should have just went for 1 big shake. Alright, so we got that established. Now we need to mix it about. I need to find a spatula. And I need to mash that butter down. It definitely isn't as soft as I'd like it, but that's where the common fork really comes into its own. You just stab a couple holes into it, let that melted butter get into it. And we're going to mix all that up real good. I guess you could have whisk, and that would probably work better, but I think this is going to get the job done. You just want to make sure that you get all the lumps and clumps out, I'm assuming. Hey, you realize that peanut butter is made out of like butter, right? You got plenty of butter in there, buddy. I mean, I'm using the creamy butter because it would be a texture issue later on if you use the crunchy. So what I'm doing is I'm just smashing the butter up against the wall and then folding it in. That'll help it incorporate butter better. Speech impediment, sorry. Because you want a uniform consistency before you make your balls here. And don't be afraid to give your sauteing vegetables a little bit of love. We're going to give them a sprinkle of salt. And they're softening, I promise. A little bit of garlic powder. A little bit of chili powder, actually. And I don't know if this is true or not, but when you put in seasoning, it tends to absorb some of your fat or your oil or whatever. So if you need more, don't be afraid to add it. But the onions and carrots, they will put off a lot of moisture. And seasoning can burn, but I'm cooking at a low enough temperature that I'm really not too worried about that. I think I'll be fine. Give it a taste, just so you know what you're working with. I mean, the onion and carrot definitely will taste different as it cooks along. But what you really don't want is you don't want all your butter in one spot here. We're just going to stir like mad and hope for the best, yeah? So we got this consistency. It's a little bit runny. So now we're going to stir in a cup of sugar or so. And then I'm hoping that firms it up a little bit. But, you know, life happens. And recipe called for powdered sugar, but, you know, it called for way too much sugar. So I'm going to reduce it and just use regular sugar. Because I'm not diabetic. I'm not trying to give anybody diabetes either. It's coming along nicely. Oh shit. That's unfortunate. Honestly, get a sugar jar that's big enough for your. I'm making a dessert and I'm making dinner at the same time. But make sure you get a sugar jar that's big enough for your cup to get into. Otherwise, you gotta use your tools like this. What? It's not ideal. And I don't want this to be too sweet. So we're just going to call it 3/4 of a cup. Not sure what that is, but I'm going to fish it out. And then I'm going to mix this in and no, I'm not some sort of freak funk. I got issues, but that ain't one of them. But all what we're doing right now is we're slow cooking the carrots and onions, letting them caramelize a little bit, and then we'll use that to make the marinara sauce here. But to burn time, I am trying to do two things at once, make these little chocolate covered peanut butter balls as I make dinner. Okay, so we got butter, everything combined in. Where'd my spoon go? We're just going to add a little bit of sugar, and we're going to stir. All right. Just taking the whole thing, we're going to add another spoonful of sugar. We're going to stir. And honestly, I think this is going to be too sweet, and the sugar might give it a gritty texture if I use too much. So I'm going to limit. How much sugar I put in, you know? Now, one more spoonful and I'm done. Unless I need to do, you put enough in so it holds this texture though. Yeah, I think powdered sugar would have been better for that. Nope, no eggs gonna be added. That's probably a grand total of a 1/4 cup of sugar. I don't like the fact that you can taste the texture or feel the texture of the granulated sugar. So definitely powdered sugar is the way to go on this one. But we're going to see, we're getting ready for the next step over here, so we're going to speed our lives up a little bit. Give that a little bit of stir. It's coming along nicely. No need to rush it. go ahead and prepare that. As we've already established, I don't want to do dishes more than I have to, so I'm going to, put a piece of wax paper down. Give this a quick rinse. Now I gave it a quick rinse, now I'm going to give it a quick lube. Add oil. Because I really don't want things sticking unnecessarily. Now let's take a teaspoon of it. Let's see if it'll stand up in a little ball shape. All right, close enough. Wouldn't be so fat. These are literally going to look like dog shit, but they're going to taste good. Not quite ready for a cooking conspiracy long form video, but make it a couple more times and I'll refine it. Or I'll just make them bigger. Bigger is always better, yeah? Alright, screw it. We're going to pop these in the freezer, and we're going to be done with dessert until after dinner. How's that sound? This will be good, I promise. Actually, before we do that, we're going to make our life easier on the back end here. I'm just going to put we're going to use two because I don't think one will have the structural integrity needed at a later time and date. I'm gonna add a little one. That's a weak one. Maybe I'll give that a little bit more. Oh yeah, candles would be cool, but it's not a birthday party. It's a party in anticipation of a birth. I think birthday candles would be bad luck or something. Into the freezer, they're gonna go for at least 15 minutes, and then we'll figure out how we're gonna cover them with chocolate. Oh yeah. That'll work. Get this out of here. Alright. Now on to the main attraction of the night. Our meatball sandwich, right? Yep. Alright. So now we can get a move on things. When you got some nice couple days old, you've got to make some chicken tenders, some other stuff. Oil, let's heat that up. You can reuse your oil. You're heating up to 400 degrees. It's going to kill anything bad in there. Alright, so we got that going. Now we're going to add, how's the view on that? Can we zoom that in? Not too much. Maybe about halfway. That good? Sorry, the lighting's terrible right now. Can you see how these are going to make good floaties? You know? Because I don't want weevils, buddy. No weevils for me. Damn, that lighting is terrible. Does this help? A little bit. So the oil's preheating. You got just your plain tomato sauce that's going in here. I like Barilla's. It doesn't have a ton of floaties. You can always add your own flavors, but it's very hard to take it away once it's inside. Yeah, screw it. The whole remainder of the jar will be fine. I'll use the leftovers when I use the leftovers. Rest in peace, soldier. Let's get the heat going on that one. Got some leftover shit wine. It's not very good wine, but it'll do the job here. Put that in there. I want that to be a sweet sauce to counteract the meatballs. So we're going to give it a little bit of sugar. And basil plants aren't quite ready to harvest. So you're going to get the dried basil. You're going to get a little bit of basil in there. A little bit of oregano in there. There we go. We're making progress on that front. Sure you don't got anything weird that you're going to mix into that. And just give that a little mix up. Alright, let's go find the bread I plan on using for this hoagie, meatball hoagie. That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. Got a bigger tray than I need because I'm lazy on my dishes, and that's the situation we're in. Don't judge. Alright, I got this allegedly baked fresh bread. Not sure if I believe it or not. Let's prep this though. Let's cut in half, try to keep some connection. I don't want to break the connection. It's like in Harry Potter number 4. Alright. I have spread the bread. Now this butter isn't as soft as I would like it to be, but that's okay. Because you're going to put it in the oven, so you can just slice it. Pasta sauce is starting to bubble fairly aggressively. I'm okay with that situation because I'm here to monitor it. Oh, just like that, I stirred it. Now I'm going to want that to reduce down to so it's not quite so liquidy. That probably doesn't need to be at medium. Medium low is probably perfect. Taste it while you can adjust it. So, I've sliced up some butter. I'm going to go ahead, put it on my bread just like that, and know that when it melts, the butter is going to sink into the bread. Sure. And it's going to take this nice garlic flavor with it. Just like that. Oh, I broke my bread. Actually, I'm probably going to make 2 meatball sandwiches so I have lunch tomorrow. You want your sauce to be simmering away, you don't want it boiling. But you are trying to take away some of that excess liquid that it has. And just for variety on this one, I'm going to use olive oil if you don't like butter. But really, I'm just kind of testing to see which one I like better. And now we're going to apply garlic liberally. Not too liberally, but that should be good. Now I need to cheese these up. This is going to be a 3-cheese masterpiece. As soon as I get my gravy turned out. So the first cheese we got is Parmesan. just going to take that, we're going to grate that using the fine side of the grater. And we're going to take it and sprinkle it on both sides of the bread there. And we're going to do this with both of our sandwiches. So let's go do this. Do some Olympics here. I really need to find a better angle, as some of you have said, but that's okay. And we'll put Parmesan on both sides. Cool. We're making progress. That's good. Now, I guess you could toast your bread beforehand, but we'll see what I'm doing on here. Taking the mozzarella now, and I'm going to put that on one side. Shredded mozzarella. Okay, we're looking good on that front. Our sauce is really coming together nicely back there. Now we got Freedom's Choice Provolone. And we're going to go ahead and tear these in half. And we're just going to layer it on the non-mozzarella side. That way you should have about equal cheese on both sides. Okay. We're done with the bread for a moment here. Now let's check to see if our oil is hot enough. Well, actually, we got one more step. I got to pull out the meatballs from yesterday. My balls are a little bit too big for these meatball sandwiches as is. I think probably about 3 balls per sandwich. Actually, 4 balls per sandwich is about right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to line it up. Okay, but those are too big. So we're going to break up 3 meatballs into 6 meatballs and load our sandwiches up. So take your meatball, and they're cold, so they'll be really easy to do this with. Turn my oil down so it doesn't burn. We'll cut the meatballs in half, make a new meatball. Alright, we got 6 meatballs for a sandwich. I like testing my oil by dropping a little piece of flour in it, but also you can put a piece of wood in there, and if you get bubbles right away, it's ready to go, what I did. And you gotta remember, you're not trying to cook these meatballs all the way. You're just trying to get a good crust on them. If you drop too many in at once, you'll drop the oil temperature too much. But really, you want to cook the outside of them, and that way when you bake the sandwich for 10 minutes, they finish cooking, you know? So I should set a timer so I know how long I'm cooking these for. Just for future reference, I mean, I'm eyeballing it. You gotta prepare a landing zone for your meatballs, because you don't want excessive grease on your balls. Nobody likes excessive greasy balls. And I think that holds true for most situations in life. I'll give you sauce a taste. Look at that, use of carrot as a soup. That's hot, but it's good. Now this meatball is kind of splitting open, but it gives you a good idea of how much the meatballs have cooked. So we'll cook them a little bit longer before we pull out, with the goal of pulling out on time, as always. Now the longer you don't molest them, the crispier they'll be, so you run the risk of burning them on the outside. I don't want to burn them on the outside, and I don't need to cook them all the way through, because you're going to cook them more in the oven. These guys aren't that thick, so I don't have to cook them that long. And because it's just beef, I'm not too worried if there's a little bit of red in the middle. Because, you know, so I'm going to pull them out and put them on a paper towel to drain to get that extra oil off of them. Now once again, I gotta break down my big meatballs into smaller meatballs. So just pull them apart, give them a quick little rub, and if you're worried about them sticking to your hands, go ahead and put a little bit of oil on your hands. I mean, if you lubricate your hands, it'll keep the meat from sticking. That's why you see people pour oil on their hands. Not counting ditty parties. I think that doesn't really apply to that situation. Alright, so got some meatballs here. Made them last night. If you're that curious, and go to the channel and look at last night's. But just your basic meatballs. I don't know if you noticed this, but they're not sizzling up nearly as fast as they did with the last batch. So that tells me the temperature of my oil is a little bit lower. I want hot oil, so I'm going to let it heat back up. But it's still sizzling, so that's good enough. Panina. Now I put them in a nice clockwise direction so I know which one went in first, and in theory should be done first. Now if you're making meatballs, but you have a wiener dog, always remember to give your dog some meatballs. She really appreciates it. But of your meatballs that are already done, don't be afraid to give them a little bit of love and pat them dry. Get that oil off. You can see all the oil come off the paper towel, even come through the paper towel. So, and that makes sense because you are deep frying. Well, not deep frying. I guess this is technically shallow frying, but same concept. Okay, shoot. Sauce is ready anytime. I've got it to the consistency that I want. So I'm going to turn the heat down just to keep it warm. Meanwhile, I'm going to have an argument with my 12-pound dog. You're going to turn your meatballs fairly frequently. I'm just trying to get a good crust on them and cooking them about halfway. I don't want them to dry out when I put them in the oven on a sandwich. Penny. This behavior is not allowed. Sit. Sit, keep up. Keep up. Sit. Sit. Good boy. Now that I only have 3 balls, I don't need the whole tray to put it back in the refrigerator. And if you averaged me with Lance, we would both have 2. Okay. Prepare your landing pad and pull out your meatballs. I mean, honestly, you want the inside to be a little bit red because you're still going to cook it. It's enough out of you. Okay, I'm done with that. So I'm going to turn the burner off. I'm just going to let that chill out. It's got a really big old handle on it, so I'm going to be very careful about it. I'll pat these balls dry. Oh yeah. Get all that excess oil off of my balls. Meatballs, that is. Alright. So I guess I need a scooper. I don't want a scooper with holes for this operation, do I? Let's turn that off. We're done with the heat for now. Oh yeah. So I got my marinara sauce. Let's scoop some. Let's go ahead and put it on the mozzarella side. Honestly, the only reason I did it on that side is because it looks like it'll be a better canoe for my meatballs. Alright. Now that I got those good to go, let's put our balls on it. Oh, there's only room for 5. But that lets me sacrifice one of these meatballs and eat it now. Now you can see a little bit of pink of that, but they'll finish cooking without overcooking in the oven. See, same story here. That pink will go away when you bake your sub. Got her full on up. Now I'm going to add a little bit of mozzarella on top of that, and that way that'll act as a glue when I combine it. And I apologize, I forgot to preheat my oven, so we're going to make awkward small talk for a while. I'm sorry about that, team. But cheese really does make very, very good food glue. Take my oven a few minutes to preheat. I'm going to take this as an opportunity to clean up a little bit. See that? It's nice rare in the middle. I'll finish cooking in the oven. I was going to give it to my dog, but then she whined, and I ain't training no beggars here, you know? And now that I got that food glue in it, I'll just put a little bit of a line on top there. Now you could add some red or green pepper to this situation, but the truth be told, the only thing I would add from here on out would just be fresh basil, and that would be really, really good. But gotta get the doggies a snack. My dogs, sit. Good dogs. But meanwhile, I can clean up my workstation a little bit. But we got a little ways to go, which is unfortunate. In the meantime, where are you all from? And I'm just going to throw this back on the shelf. A little bit of the oil seeped through, but I'll keep that pan nice and lubricated. But in almost every sense, as long as you don't have too much, has good connotations. Alright. Oven's preheated, I'm sorry, friends. But while that's going on, I guess we can make a salad, yeah? All good. We need to get some lettuce out. Lettuce, green pepper, cucumber, ranch, damn it. All right, nuts. All right. I apologize for that, but while the oven preheats, let's make a good salad. So I got some nuts, got a green pepper, got cucumber, got a small carrot, lettuce, ranch dressing, and Parmesan cheese. My dog that's going crazy over the pan. I'll let her take it, and then I'll throw it in the dishwasher to keep her under control. Need a bowl. Alright, so I got a nice wide bowl. I mean, this is going to be a salad for one, but it's going to take me about 2 minutes, especially if I don't clean up as I go. I'm running out of space over here. I realize it's an issue. My mother's been telling me the same thing for years, so if it hasn't gotten through from her, it's probably not going to get through from you. Take some lettuce, that'll be our base. Cut that up. That looks about the right amount of lettuce for me. Got red pepper, that'll give it some color. Also goes without saying, it'll give it some flavor. I don't want a ton of that. But just a handful of sliced Fresno pepper without any of the seeds. Give it some cucumber, not a ton. And don't, for God's sake, don't peel the cucumber. I like the skin. That's where all the nutrients are at, you know? Just like that. I'm just going to add onion, but I don't particularly like onion that much. It can be a little bit strong taste for me. So instead, to get that texture, we're just going to get some green pepper. We're going to give it a rough dice. And it goes. That's more color. Now everybody likes a colorful salad. Moldy beans, no, it's not moldy beans. Salad. Give it some flavor. We got Parmesan cheese. Give it a good grating. For texture, we got some cashews, and we're going to. This This is just hot oil. That's been used a couple times. I'll filter it out once it cools down. So not even a handful of cashews. Just about that. Throw those on top. Not only will that give it a good crunch, it'll also give it a little bit of salt. Because I'm American, and you know, ranch goes with a lot of good different things. I'm gonna go ahead and use ranch as my dressing of the evening. If I can open the damn thing. It's looking unlikely at this point in time. But I know how to fix this situation. See, got a hole now, alright? Give the salad a swirly, just like that. Where's my salad fork? I'm gonna go find a salad fork. Alright. Mix it up. Mix up your salad, no matter, just make sure it's as much dressing as you like. If you want to drench it in ranch, or really any dressing, that kind of defeats the purpose of the salad. That's okay. Now, counterattack the ranch. That was a mistake. We're going to throw on a couple olives just to show that we have culture here. Yeah, I talk about a lot of conspiracies. They just kind of come up organically. Throw out a conspiracy, I'll talk on it. I mean, one conspiracy is nobody likes black olives. Green olives are much better. Okay, so, folks, my oven is preheated at 400. We're going to pop these in for about 10 minutes or so. Oh no, yeah, the green ones taste so much better. Got our little fresh Italian bread, allegedly, a little bit of butter, garlic powder, mozzarella, parmesan, provolone, meatballs, you know, a little marinara sauce I made up. We're going to put it in for about 10 minutes at 400 Fahrenheit, and then we're going to pull out. On top, as always. I'm going to stick it in. Set your timer. And whenever I have my oven on, I turn the light on so I remember. Oh, thank you. You think those meatballs are good size? Ah, man. These are my meatballs before the reduction, but too big for the sandwich. They just didn't fit, you know? Haven't had that problem before. Now, this is a disaster zone. Try to clean up as you go. It's good standard practice, but shit happens. And definitely remember to pay the cheese tax if you have dogs. The tax collectors do not like it when you don't. Oh man, me neither. They're gonna be good. I don't want to ruin my appetite with a salad, to be honest. I even used a wheat carrot for the salad. That would have given it some more color, but these things happen. You know what? I'll even give you the privilege of watching me munch down this warm sub. Are you mad? Because I think that you will find it pleasurable. Penny, Kiko, come. Good dogs. Black dog, brown dog. I think that only applies to Eleanor, truth be told. Not sure that's really a conspiracy, though. You know, I don't think anybody thinks Hillary or Barbara or Michelle is a man, in all honesty. They're just powerful women. Sorry if that intimidates you. I mean, having children is pretty strong evidence to the contrary. Simpy. I mean, they all got legitimate faults, but that's what you're going to go after them. I mean, Melania was a supermodel, for Christ's sake. Google can be a very dangerous place for some of us. No, absolutely, and here you are, buddy. And I'm glad to have you. But here's a conspiracy. The people that use the express lane at the grocery store or the express self-checkout lane, the people who violate the item limit deserve to be shot. And the conspiracy is violating the limit on express checkout is worse than not returning a cart in the parking lot. And I will fight and die on that hill. No. Got to work on my pull-out game here. Alright, that burner's alright. You know what? That takes practice. If you got tips, I'm open to suggestions. It's been about 8 minutes, and I probably could leave these in longer, but they look pretty good. So I'm going to pull out. I'm going to let them cool for a little bit, and then I'm going to put the top on. And then I'm going to wrap one up in foil, put it in the fridge for tomorrow's lunch, and eat one of them while I go back to working on my desserts for the big baby shower tomorrow. Well, I mean, to each their own, Lance Smith. You can't knock it until you try it. I mean, what he does in his own time, we should respect and encourage if that's what gets him through the day. Penny. Come here. Sit. Good boy. Penny, sit. Good girl. Alright, that's all you're getting for tonight. That looks like a yes. Are you mad? Or Rumad. Yeah. This looks like dinner tonight. Oh, yeah. Ooh. That's still toasty. Let's fold that over. Oh, yeah. Enough out of you. It's okay, are you mad? If that's your thing, that's alright. I'm done with the oven for now. Make sure you turn it off. Well, I want to know your yoga routine because I need to work on my flexibility as well. Alright. Oh man, this is picture worthy, isn't it? Yeah, suck it, Philadelphia. There's nothing that good in your city. Or should I say, Philadelphia? Sorry, I need to get my food porn picture. Alright. I'm going to wrap this up. Into the fridge. That's tomorrow's lunch. Oh man. Make sure you don't touch anything hot. You might have to liberate your bread from the bottom if you didn't lube the pan. press. Good diagonal cut as always. Oh, and cheese oozing out. Don't waste any of that. Well, I think that's kind of what Lance Smith was implying in Are You Mad? Is that you've had plenty of salads in your life and you know how to toss a salad. Okay. This is good cross section of the meatball. You can see how it's still got some flavor in there and it's not overcooked. Oh man. Cheese is all melted together. The meatballs are cooked how I like it. And I realize some of you will say, oh, that meatball's not cooked, but you're not the one to eat my meatball sub. Oh, well, this meatball is pretty good. Penny, not for you. I know you just want attention. Yeah. I don't know whose side I'm picking on this one. I'm leaning towards Are You Mad? But functional, that's clever. It's probably somewhere in the middle. The only thing that would make this better would be a little bit of fresh basil. No, come on. He's at least 10, you know, probably more like 15. Penny. Well, shit, tell us. The people want to know. I'm going to save this for a while here. No, come on. We're not talking about the movie Wall-E here. Come on, let's be nice, people. What's wrong with cooking? Cooking is how you avoid getting fat. Duh. I'm just here for the comments at this point. The oven's still warm, so we're gonna cram. I know it's a mess right now, just ignore it. Pretend that that's gonna happen. We're gonna clean up real quick because I don't want any surprise floaties in the dessert. Not with two whole eggs. I only ate half of one, and you know what? I'll tell you what, I feel a lot better after eating half that sub. No, I'm gonna make something with them. Not that there's anything wrong with snacking on them. I think he's calling me pudgy, if I'm not familiar. On the scale of offensive, slightly more than husky would be the rough equivalent of calling somebody a pudge. Oops. Get some clean workspace, you know. Alright, here's where the magic starts, folks. Yeah, that's fair enough. Where does school start at 1:10? Lunchtime? Europe? Alright, we're done with that hot oil. It's bothering me. So we'll go ahead. Okay, homeschooling. Gotcha, that's fair. I mean, you just opened yourself up to Are You Mad's counterattacks, but you know, to each their own. Alright, so let's go ahead turn this back burner on. I got a small saucepan with just water in it. Let's go ahead and turn it on to about 4, so actually 5. You know, 4 is good. The recipe called for a cup of chocolate. I didn't feel like going into the chocolate chip aisle or the baking section, so I just got some Hershey's chocolate chip. There, actually just standard Hershey's chocolate bars. If I need more, I'll melt more, right? Oh, well, are you not entertained? Pay extra, I might create an OnlyFans just for you two. Yeah, I'm assuming you're both using your mom's Amexes. Alright, I got 2 chocolate bars here. Who said anything about back surgery? I must have missed that comment. We're gonna let that water heat up. We're just gonna put the chocolate over the top in a heat-proof bowl, and then we're gonna wait a couple minutes. So what I got here is kind of peanut butter mixed with butter, brown sugar, white sugar, a little bit of salt, sprinkle of cinnamon. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. We're gonna melt some chocolate over the top and pour it over the top. The peanut butter was a little bit too runny. I think it was because I melted the butter instead of using softened butter. So they're not nice little balls like buckeyes, but after I put the chocolate on top, we'll just leave the bottom peanut butter exposed, and I think it'll be pretty good. It'll be the same effect. But we're gonna keep these cold in the freezer until our chocolate's melted, and then we're gonna pour it on top, and then we're gonna put them back in the freezer, and hopefully, and then that should give them a good chance to harden. Yeah, I mean, the baby's not born yet. You don't want to jinx it. Coworker's having a baby shower. It's nobody's birthday. Usually I use dark chocolate for this, but I'm sure milk chocolate will be just fine. No, the only thing I play is NCAA 2025 on Xbox. I haven't played a shooter game online since SOCOM 2 and Halo before they were moderators. Before there were you trolls, there was me. Now this is the best way I've found to melt chocolate. I've tried microwave, I've tried the stove just directly on the burner, and it always messes up. But the last couple times I've tried this, It's a nice gentle way to melt. And it usually works out. You go get that water. Hydration is key. I think you should have something a little bit stronger than water, maybe a beer. Now that'll help your homeschool studies along, I promise. Take this opportunity to clean up a little bit. Oh, don't you live in Europe? I think it's allowed. I mean, I don't think anybody here is going to tell anybody that you had a beer at 16. It's not like we're communists or anything like that. Chocolate's starting to melt. It'll be melted by the time I'm back here. But it's just slowly, gently heating up in that ceramic bowl. You can use any type of bowl over a small saucepan of water on the burner to melt your chocolate. You know, that's what I would tell people too, you know. But, you know. Okay, let's get that water going a little bit. It's taking longer than with the milk chocolate than I thought it would, but we'll get that water boiling here quick and speed this process up. Oh yeah, I'll build some steam up rather quickly. Get that ceramic bowl heating up. I think I'm probably going to need at least one more chocolate bar on there. I don't know, I had the water on too low of a heat and I didn't bring it to a boil. So that's a screw up on my part, and I apologize for wasting your time. Now I got steam coming out. I'm going to turn the burner back down a little bit because I don't want it to get too hot too fast. But ceramics are pretty heat resistant, so. And who knows what Hershey puts in their chocolate, but I always get pissed because it melts immediately whenever I put it in my hand. But it's time to go now. Oh yeah, won't take long now. As you can see, it's starting to go. Panino, it's not for you. I mean, we're in no rush, and maybe I'll even make caramel apples. Two wiener dogs. What's that, Penny? You want attention. Oh shit. Okay, that's starting to melt. I'm gonna need at least another chocolate bar. Should have gotten the chocolate chips. They melt better. But Penny, enough of that. Penny, shh. Shh. I'm not going to use Hershey's again next time because it is taking forever to melt the chocolate. But the bowl's warming up nicely. It should be a little bit faster now. I'm really glad I put the peanut butter back in the freezer though. Oh yeah, Datsuns are fun, aren't they? Yeah, when this one's fully melted, we're gonna say hell with it and put the chocolate on. Then I'm going to probably take my Datsuns out and call it a night for the streaming. Might be back for the caramel apples, but the dogs seem to want me to sit down on the couch with them. We'll see. Actually, the caramel apples don't take long. Alright, that bowl's warm. Might add a little bit of cream to thin it out. If I need to. We'll see. Oh, yeah. It's starting to come together nicely. Not quite there yet. It's taking forever. This is bothering me. I'm sorry, guys. Shh. That's great. A little bit of cream. Not sure what this will do, but stir that in real good. I mean, it's heavy cream, so the worst case scenario is it makes it creamier, right? I hope it doesn't curve. I hope I didn't screw it up, but I don't think so. Oh yeah, I did screw it up. God. Yeah, it was a bad idea adding the cream. This may be a failure. We'll give it some time. That definitely altered the consistency here, and the chocolate broke. Yeah. Taste is still good. So we're going to press. Damn it. Alright, be patient. Just let your chocolate melt. The cream was a bad idea. 100% bad idea on the cream. I'll know for next time. That being said, I don't know if I can fix it with just more chocolate. Or if this is a total law. Ooh. Turns out the bottom layer is coming together, as might save it. Shh. a mistake. Damn it. Yeah, we're just going to ladle it onto the chocolate, and then we're going to spread it around manually. Penny, these aren't for you. I'm going to have to research the chocolate. I think the easiest solution is don't use Hershey's next time. Penina. Shh. Penny, quiet. This will literally kill you. Shh. Shh. Penny. 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 Yeah. Kill the heat on this. That's what happens when I rush something for the camera. Sorry about that, team. But alright, I think I'll be okay though. We'll taste it in the morning, and if it's terrible, then we won't present it. Penny, hush. But kill that. What we're gonna do. That's why you always put your knives up safely. Yeah, that's what I was going towards. I didn't know that adding cream would make it bunch up like that. I got a little bit impatient and thought I would add cream to see if that would make it more liquidy. But it didn't really do what I wanted to. But on the bright side, I can use this as an opportunity to reshape them so they don't look like dog shit into nice little circles, and blend it into the peanut butter and pretend I meant to do that. So if it tastes like shit, then I won't bring them and I won't embarrass myself. But, Penny, shh. But I will sample one in the morning, and if they pass the taste test, it'll be a full send. I mean, C's chocolate still tastes good. Quiet. Penny. Penny, quiet. Penny. For first attempt, not terrible. The chocolate seized up on me. I got impatient. I added heavy cream to it. Don't do that. I'll try it another time adding butter and see what happens, but definitely don't add cream to it. Meanwhile, I'm going to throw these in the freezer, let them set. And if they look and taste decent tomorrow, I'm going to say screw it and send it anyways. Come on, Penny, out of here. But back to the inventing board, and at least the meatball sub was good. Caramel apples, I'm just going to make real quick. I'm not going to do that off the camera. It's been 2 hours. Thank you for joining tonight. I wish you the best. Good seeing you again, Lance. Fonka, was nice of you to join. You might be right about the 48.6 butter. Ciao, ciao.